Synonyms: come unto you, duraradyam, very difficult to worship. Aradya, having worship. Shatam api, even for the most exalted persons. Durabhaya, very difficult to attain. Ekanta, pure. Bhaktya, by devotional service. Kaha, who is that man? Vanche, should desire. Adamulam, lotus feet. Vina, without. Vahi, outsiders. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Srimad Madhava Swami 20.08.2012. My dear Lord, pure devotional service is very difficult. It's even difficult for liberated persons to discharge. The devotional service alone can satisfy you. Who will take to the process of self-realization? He is actually serious about the perfection of life. Commentary: the word sakam refers to transcendentalists. There are three kinds of transcendentalists: the Jnani, the Yogi, and the Bhakta. Out of these three, the Bhakta is selected as the most suitable candidate to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Emphasized herein that only one who is outside devotional service would not engage in searching for the lotus feet of the Lord. Foolish people sometimes maintain that God may be obtained in any way, either by karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, etc. But here it is clearly stated it's impossible to obtain the mercy of the Lord by any means with bhakti yoga. The word dharanadya is especially significant. Very difficult to attain the lotus of the Lord by any method other than bhakti yoga. And the Vrindavan Krishna Palarama Sabhagamate Jnanam Padam Padamaya Krishna Sutam Chittam Dandastadeva Prabhupada Namaste Samsara Dukkha Jagado Paditasya Kama Prodharina Brahma Padai Kavali Patasya Durvashna Nagatasya Narashvesya Chaitanya Chandra Madehi Vadavalam Jaladara Shashivanam Gopaveshki Soro Sahachara Gana Vrindaya Kriyama Navrajesho Katabara Jitade Sho Nima Kriyam Varadyo Jagadachan He Go Rama Krishna Manchakavara Vishchan Prasna Vevacha Vidanam Bhagavani Vishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Rupa Goswami has a very similar verse in Bhakti Vishrambha Madhava, which is very interesting. It says, referring to the 7 limbs of devotional service, referred to by Prahlad Maharaj in 7th Canto, chapter 9. Shadhanam Kirtana Vishnu Smaranam Parasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasam Sakyam Atman Veda. So, he says, Darativa Savana Ayogyatve Nihitam Mukam. That's 1:122. This is Duskurat Vera Vera Ve Sakyam Atman Veda Kesam Chit Eva Tirana Vevate Saranam Vitaha. Very difficult. Of all these 7 processes, very difficult to attain to. Giving everything to Krishna, Atmaniveda, and Sakya, friendship. It is for few sober persons who want the right to serve them. But Sambandha, relationship with God, is what it is. It comes by Shavanadi Shuddha Chitte Kare Udoy. By hearing and chanting it comes. And in Adi Lila chapter 4, verse number 19, The Lord says, whatever relationship my devotee worships me, then I reciprocate with him accordingly, and that is my nature. So it is Krishna's nature to accept a devotee as the devotee wants. Matsyavatara, when he was staying over here, going back, before they had a school there, before they moved to school here, he invited me for lunch one day. He's giving lunch one day. And he was talking with me about 3rd Canto, chapter 9, verse 11. Very nice shloka. Tvam bhakti yoga, paribhavita, ritsaroja, aseshu dekshana nanata ponsam, yadiyadya, taurukaya vibhavaya ti, tat tat vibhu pranayase, saranugrahaya. Prabhupada's translation is better. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 3, verse 111. Same shloka. How is it good? You'll do very good. But the purport in the Bhagavatam was better than he did the purport in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. How was that? Look at it. You'll understand. So he mentioned to me that 2 commentaries shine light on that shloka. Bhagavatam Deepika and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Sarada Darshani Tika. Both. Of the 2, put the 2 together, you get 3 interesting points. He said, the first point that is very interesting is that Krishna comes in the form that the devotee wants. For neophyte devotees, that means, pramana. Some Shastra pramana. Whenever you're in trouble, Krishna will come with you in your mind, and that's very simple. Some Upadesha, some Shastra, Gita, Bhagavatam, some pramana, whenever you're in trouble. That's when you feel, I've got some shelter. Because Paramatma is protecting me by giving me knowledge in his heart. And it says that. There's, in Bhagavad Gita 18:58, that in any difficulty, if you remember me, you will cross over all the difficulties by my grace. So the important thing is Krishna's smart, to remember him always. And he'll help me always, like that. So, Tosimani is also known as Vidyaya Vedavarina. She gives knowledge to those who seek it. So basically, we have to beg him. And milk him, like that. And Surya Sarvabhutana, the Supreme Lord in the heart, is the best friend. Prabhupada was saying you don't need to look very far to find a friend. He's there within your heart. And big time. He gives you direction big time. If you listen, if you ask him, then he'll give you big time. He'll give you inspiration. She's the same way. She comes from the heart the same way. The same conduit, like Paramatma, and give direction. Same way. Better than your mother ever did. She'll blast you, she'll sweet talk you, she'll coddle you, she'll hug you, she'll do whatever mothers do better. In amazing ways. So, it's like that. So, and so Krishna's not lying. In any relationship. So that's the first form. First form is pramana, Shastra pramana, in the heart. That's the first thing. Pramana, first business. Then the second thing is rupa. Sometimes devotees need, when you have a deity or something, some devotees need a friend that will tell you what to do. For some pujaris, it's Gauratai, or it's Jagannath, or it's Narahari, or it's Radha Krishna. Whoever you'll listen to. The Supreme Lord, Paramatma, wants to be effective. He wants to be efficient. So he's going to give you direction by your authority, whom you will listen to. So, tat tat vibhu pranayase saranugrahaya. I was called this verse. I was personally shocked. Like, you don't find a crystal ball down the shield. They're very difficult to find. You don't find them. And the same size as your Krishna. a little bit bigger, and solid crystal, way bigger. So when that happened to me, I was shocked because he actually did it. He actually became manifested exactly the way he wanted. You know? And it was actually shocked. And Krishna just delegated everything to him. In any relationship you hang him, he delegates it. He has his leader, his group leader, Yudheshwari, group leader. And in any relationship, he comes. He delegates it, to them. If you want Ujjvala Rasa, then it's to Radhika or Chandra, and Krishna will say, whatever they want, no problem. No. Whatever they say, no problem. And if you want Vatsalika Prema, then it's Nandi Yasoda, whatever they say, no problem. And if you want Sakya Baba, then whatever Dauji says, all the cowboy boys follow whatever Balaram says. And he's Sangini potency, the existential energy of Krishna. All the material world and all the spiritual world is manifest. So he can do anything. And not only that, but all the avatars manifest from it. And that is very bewildering. Just like, for example, we do full fast till Suryasta for Narahari's appearance day, and for Ramchandra. And they all emanate from Balaram. And for Balaram, we only fast half a day? Wait a minute, I just don't see the logic there, I'll ask the Jyotish why, but in my personal capacity, I don't care what other people are doing. Because you can't. You can't when it comes to your personal capacity. You can't care what the institution is doing or not doing, or what people tell you to do or not do. What are you going to do? So when I looked at that, I thought, this is illogical. Narahari and Ramchandra, we fast a full day. And Balarama only half a day. I just can't understand it. So just faster. Not only that, but according to that Janmashtami Kanda, chapter 8 of Brahma Vaivarta Purana, it says to do Jagar on Janmashtami. Okay? So I extrapolated that. Any appearance day of the Lord, do Jagar. Why not? So I happened to be in Bali when I got that pramana. It was an Ekadasi day. And then a few days after that was Ramanavami. So I thought, okay, let's do it. So I stayed up all night on Ramanavami. And the next day, on the Dasani, Ramachandra comes in the heart. What do you mean? Well, it would be nice, if we could get cured of serving. You're not serving enough. You'll get the straight story. At least you'll tell you the truth, That's nice. At least you get the truth. And the truth is really good. Satyameva Jayate. Truth is what we want. I was reading my email once, and my Balaram came in the heart. You're done! So then, I remembered an astrologer pundit, Bhakti Vishrambha Madhava looked at my chart and said, your moon period, when you're 82, 83, like that, you'll probably have some disease which results in giving up the body. So he said like that. So, and Hari Bhakti Vishrambha chapter 9, verse 103, it mentions about Tulsi Rani that Ayush, she gives Ayush. She knows now. She gives the duration of life for everybody. She knows. So I asked him, hey Rani, now you said this. Am I dying soon? No. She gives a straight story from her mother. Nah, you're not dying yet, she said. He's frustrated, you're not spiritual. That gave you 2 points. One point is that you should be more spiritual, and 2, he's the last person you want to make angry. Balaram was the last guy you want to make your enemy. So, like that. You can get the straight story from your mother. At least your mother will tell you the truth. Very interesting. So, and then the third thing, Matsyama talked to me. So, Rupa, you're a deity form. Who is your authority? Who you will listen to? That form. And Krishna just delegated. One night I was hugging my deities in my dream. And Krishna, you have very nice blue eyes. The Shastra says he has blue eyes, blue irises. It said, Krishna Karnataka Shloka 45. Krishna's got blue irises. It means the painters don't know. If you want to, you can check. Krishna has very blue eyes. What about Balaram? Never found any pramana. Raktam Mudradalekshana. The Sanskrit says that means that maybe his whites of his eyes are red from the number like that. His irises didn't see. Nothing. Radharani also had blue eyes. It mentions in Radha Sudhara Sloka, Sloka 4, or Sloka 7. Radharani. This means Gauranga. I was talking to Dravida when he threw the Brahmanas at me. This means Gauranga should have blue eyes. Yeah, but the one for that. Nope. And same with Nityananda, nothing. Same for Balaram, nothing. No Brahmanas yet. How do we get it? Well, Taki. The only thing is to do is big. Maybe they're pleased to drop the Brahman in their lap. What to do? So one night, I was saying, Krishna, the whole branches after you, and you have nice blue eyes, like this. You haven't been saying anything. This is interesting. This is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur as a commentary. 10th Canto, chapter 32, verse 20. See, when the gopis came back, when Krishna came back and gave his darshan to the gopis, some gopis were contrary-eyed and they were on his case and how can you love us? So they tried to back Krishna in the corner. You've been not reciprocal, like this. Tell us the nature of friendship. So Krishna says, well, there are three kinds of friends. One is the friendship of the parents. The parents are well-wishers to their child, whether the child respects them or not. Okay? That is one friendship. The other one of the friendship is that if you're my friend, I'm your friend. Krishna says. And the third kind of friendship, he says, your friend, and nobody reciprocates them. They're Atmanamis. They don't care. Somebody's their friend, somebody's not their friend, they're Atmanamis. And Gopi says, which one of these three are you? And Krishna says, well, I know all. Krishna was over here like that. Then he gets to the point in Shloka 20. Naham to Shakya Vajata, Anavritta Vritti, Yatha Labda Vinaste, Techchintayan Yanavritta Veda. But the main reason why I don't reciprocate the love of somebody who worships me is that I want to increase their love. They become like a person who had some money and they lost the money and they can only think about it again and again. It's like, you misplace your chuggings or something. Right? Backtrack, call your friends. You see my keys? Give me your. And then the Lord tells you it's in your pocket. Don't forget it. It happens all the time. You forget something. Never don't. The person is always thinking about it. So, the purport that Gopi wrote is, Krishna promised everybody that he would drag you to the Lord's feet, and so if he does that, nobody can say anything about it. Well, that's basically what he says. And he's very, very short purport. Didn't say much. But in Sarada Darshani Tika, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, to that shloka is really, really good. Long and very good. Very detailed. Paramatma used to come and speak to me, but he hasn't come to me. So what have I done? All my service is useless. Then when the devotee cries like that, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, then Krishna gives him a little darshan. Oh, my Lord, never let me. And then he disappears again. He brings the anxiety all over again. This is what Vishwanath says. Very lovely commentary. So, Matsyavacharya said the third thing that was very interesting about that shloka was that Krishna knows in your heart what you're hankering for him, and he appears the exact same way as you want. He knows the relationship you see, and he tries to help you achieve the relationship you want with him. Just because it's difficult. Let me take 100 birds. All right, it's difficult to get. Let me take 100 birds. Until they're ready. Until Krishna Balaram is ready. That's when you're in that relationship, you don't care. It's difficult. Yeah, we want it anyway. Sure, it's difficult. Maybe it's very difficult. It also means difficult to get. It means you should be a little bit more sober about that relationship. It means you should give your friend as much as possible. Krishna is a chitchur. See, the Charagagani Purashastakam and Chorastakam like that is glorifying Krishna's stealing. That's the thing. So Krishna is a big thief, and our business is to help him steal. And then he lets you join the thievery party. But that's basically. So Krishna is a chichor. He steals the hearts of everybody. Like that. And Charagagani Purashastakam glorifies that. That he's a chichor. He steals the hearts of everybody. Our business is to help him steal. And then he'll let you join the thievery party. Like that. It wasn't the drugging. It was the ball. You know, like this. When I was looking at Shloka 9, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Maybe the writer was sarcastic. So we get to Shimon says, nah, it's in another Vrindavan chapter. And he pulled it out and handed it to me. See, it says in another Vrindavan chapter, it says that Krishna would tell somebody, stay where you are, don't come any closer. If you come any closer, I'll pinch your babies and make them cry and give you more children. Then if they say, if you say, stop, thief, then Krishna gets angry and says, I'm not a thief, you're a thief. Everything in this house and all this stuff belongs to me. Oh, that's another Vrindavan chapter. One thing when I discussed with Bhakti Vishrambha Madhava in Moscow, I said, hey, if that's another Vrindavan chapter, they must be more. There must be more elsewhere. We're the thief. The Jivas are the thief, not Krishna. And so it wasn't the milk products or something, it was the Baba. Mother Yasoda's friends told Mother Yasoda that when your son comes to our house to steal, if we give it to him voluntarily, he's not happy. He wants to steal it. The idea of it is that, like you give a donation, you give somebody something, 1,000 rupees or something. It's gone already, I forgot about it. That kid comes to your house and steals from you. You're not going to forget that kid. And Smartavya Smartavya So Krishna is just trying to do what he's supposed to do. That you always remember Krishna. You always remember him. So if he steals from you, you're not going to forget that kid. So that's the idea of a stealing pastime. It wasn't the dravya. It wasn't the item. It was the bhava, the mood. All the hard work they put into that preparation. That is what it is. In the old days, I was from a cooking background. The gold medal was when it was stolen. You got off the altar and it was gone. The temple prison had a very heavy appetite. So we thought, he stole it. The deity bowl would be clean and the stuff, the deity portion of the kitchen was gone. That was the gold medal. You didn't have to tweak it any further. It's stolen. Well, and you don't even need to eat that preparation for the rest of your life. You work like a dog, tweaking it with spices and the oil and this and that until the fire roars. Like that. And the silver medal that you got off the altar wasn't stolen. It means the president was busy. But it means tweak it a little more. It should have been stolen. Why wasn't it stolen? The bronze medal is you made it for the Sunday feast and it's gone. Nothing for the stragglers. Because any cook with their salt has dry goods. You give me 20 minutes and 50 people and they'll be fed. You're not cooking for who might come. You cook who you know. Because that is when you cook and it was gone. That was a bronze medal. And the booby prize was the iron medal. It's left over. Why the hell is it left over? They didn't like it. What was it left over for? That was the old days. And we used to have a clique. People used to hang out with, cooks hang out with each other, share recipes together, eat prasad together, and we used to have lots of fun. There was any cook that cooked lousy, oh man, we used to razz him. You see two guys go on the other side of him, and we'd say, hey, you're not trying to make corn and tie, leave and go to Navadip. You can't say that to him. He's trying to make corn and tie and all the devotees leaving. Look, let's be positive about it. Let's be positive about it. You want to make it better? Yeah, get your new. You did this. Yeah, up to know. Do this. And they write it down. get there for you. What do you think? What do you think? You know? And then the person who made the preparation was the last person reading. And then all of us would stand around watching and we'd say, what do you think about our feedback? Could you add anything more? And they would look at the notes and you'd think, yeah, I could add this. Yeah, I could do it. Next time they made that preparation, they looked at their notes. That's how it was. In the old days, before cookbooks and stuff, you know, email cookbooks, you used to share recipes hand to hand. And you worked like a dog, 20, 30 times to perfect that preparation. The Christian doesn't need your item. He needs the love. He needs the love behind the item. So Krishna deserves the love. And the next thing is the devotee's happiness. The devotee should be happy with the preparation. So that we work like dogs. And nowadays that's completely gone. You know? That mood is completely gone. I was in Towacco, New Jersey once, and I was eating prasadam on a Sunday feast. He said, what's your opinion? I said, well, if I wanted to be liberal, I'd say the cook should be re-educated. If I wanted to be straight, he should be taken outside, put against the wall, and shot. Because anybody can cook like that. You know, anybody can cook like that. So, you know, the fire doesn't work anymore, but your head is screwed on that way. It's reverse engineering. You eat any preparation, it's reverse engineering. They blew it like this, they blew it like that, you know. Prabhupada was very diplomatic about it. Kay just told me a very funny story. Lashmat Nagar. One of Prabhupada's disciples made lunch for her. How was lunch? Oh, it was all right. And she went away. Prabhupada turned to Tejas and said, everything was burnt. Radha Mata in 1986, she told me this funny story. You know, I was taking her son, she's a good cook. Like that. So, when she was a brand new housewife, it was 73, she tried to cook for Prabhupada, I think in New York, she told me. And you always have to ask the woman. And Harikesh Brahmachari was not very talented. Why did you do like that? Why did you do that? The Prabhupada was in the next room. Who are you? Why are you talking to her like that? She can make the chapatis. So she put 2 and 2 together to get 4. What he said must not have been wrong. He packaged it in the wrong way. And what Prabhupada said must not have been wrong either, but he packaged it in the right way. Only the chapatis was good. So Radharani fell at the feet of every Gujarati lady, please teach me your mother's recipes. And she became a master. Really good. So that was the current, that was the cause of her determination to become a master. That was her quality. Was that incident? She told me that was the incident that really turned my brain. You know, only the chapatis was good. So then she fell at the feet of every lady, please teach me your mother's recipes. And she became a cook. That was the courage of this. Very funny. He also told me this funny story also, at the same time. 1973, in Los Angeles. So, Yasa said, this is her daughter, Radha. It's my wife now. What can she do? Can she cook? So Radha got nervous. She was a 10th standard high school girl. Oh, I can't cook. Prabhupada turned to Yasa, what can she do? Can she sew? Oh, I can't cook and I can't sew. And then he said, what's your qualification? In Indian standard, that means up to what standard was she educated? So Radha went bananas. She thought, what is my qualification to be here? What is my qualification to be a disciple? I don't have any qualification. Ah! I can't cook and I can't sew. Ah! And she started crying, you know. And then Prabhupada laughed at her. Ladies don't need a permit to cry. So Prabhupada laughed at her. What is she crying about? You know? So he pulled a big emerald ring off his finger and gave it to Yasa with the and said, here, give this to your wife. And when he gave it to her, she became like a young girl again. And she had this ring in her hand. Again, Radha, Mom, what happened to the ring? Oh, I don't know. Probably my kid's rifled through my chest and told her it's probably going through it out. I don't know. She couldn't find it. Because she told me the story in 86, like that, 1986. 1986. Really? It was a neat story. Probably one of many. She told me one of many, actually. But these are two stories that were pretty good. And you never forget these kind of stories, like that. So, prasadam is very important. Duraradya. It's very difficult. So in any seva you do, duraradya, it is very difficult to worship. So we have to try to satisfy the Supreme Lord with our love, bhaktya, because bhaktya is the main thing. Nasariyati mam yogo nasankyam dharma uddhava. So it's there. And also, there are many places. Nasteva, 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 tatiranyata. Not by karma, not by jnana, not by yoga. You know, like that. So nyasteva, 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 tatiranyata. Only by harinam, only by devotion. Only by devotion can we achieve. So Krishna doesn't want what you put in front of him. He wants what's behind your back. And if you start to give that, then he becomes friendly. He gives himself and he starts to become Surya. He becomes friendly. It's interesting. Krishna can't be satisfied. That was it. Whatever you give him, he says, thank you very much. And you give a little more. You give a little more. Thank you very much. And you give a little more. Look in your heart, ask your Guru Jana, look at the Shastra. It's quality, not quantity. Give a little more. Thank you very much. Can you give a little more? Will he ever be satisfied? He'll come in the heart and he'll tell you, all right, you give me this, then my mercy is there. So he'll tell you straight, this is friend. He'll tell you straight, you do this for me. And then you do this for me and my mercy will come. So this is basically that. Otherwise, whatever doubt he says, we just do that. Me and all the coward boys, we just do that. So Krishna's delegated everything to his group leader in any relationship. He wants, servant Vrindavan, Raktak, whatever they say. Yeah. It's like that. But Krishna just delegated to any of his servants. And they do that. So show the means to develop that and say a little bit more of that seva bhava. That seva bhava. How to give a little bit more love and devotion. So Rudra Gita is really good. 4th canto, chapter 30, verse 10 is a real advertisement for this chapter. When the Lord told the Prajitas that anybody who offers me the prayers offered by Lord Shiva would get good intelligence to fulfill all their desires. What an advertisement. When I saw that shloka, I thought, what an advertisement. It's not only saying the shlokas are good, Rudra Gita is good, from 33 to 68, 68 with the Malashaka, 69 to 72. Not only that, the advertisement, Bhagavan tells the advertisement that it's really good. What an advertisement. It's not only saying the shlokas are great, it's saying the shlokas are really good. So that's what it is. Lord Shiva's offering is really good. Therefore, Vrindavan, we worship him. Vishrambha Madhava, we worship him. Because he destroys the bodily conception of life. The Rajavasis worship him to destroy the bodily conception of life. Those who are stuck in male bodies want to become manjaris, they worship Lord Vishnu. And he helps them. And those that are stuck in female bodies want to become coward boys, like that, they will control them. Because he's in charge of the ahankara principle, the all-seeing. He can remove that curtain and make you really have really service worship. You know that. Very nice. So the devotees worship. And in the good old days, back when the road was not asphalt and there was a little dust in the parking lot, you could still do pretty well. Back in the good old days, after Keshi got, then I would go inside sometimes and see Lord Vishnu. My dear Lord, job is lousy, man is chanchal, this. And that day, your sadhana will be good. It's not bad worshiping Lord Vishnu, even mentally go there, worship Him mentally. It's not bad. Because whatever you can't do physically, you can do 1985. I was serving in BBB Bombay. You know, you go everywhere by train. And, 24 hours on a train in India is more. Like that. So I asked him, what happens if it's more than 24 hours? You have to do a picture. Madhava, Metro. Krishna said that they were still straight away. Why not? Provided the love is there. Oh, really? Love is the main thing. Oh. Love is the main thing in any offering. Any offering that we do. We have to work like a dog. The thing is that something was part of your blood. In the old days, everybody was selling books. But when something was in your blood, you dreamt about it. It's like that. You dreamt about it, you figured it out, you calculated it, everything. What the body did was external. You could be selling books, doing anything else. But as soon as you went back in the kitchen, you put that hat back on, you were a cook. You had it all figured out. What are you going to make? On the boat the runner's going to come in, half of it goes to the southern feast, the other half is and then divide it all up, what are you going to make, for 7 days, so they don't go crazy. Preaching, book distribution stuff was secondary for a cook. You were a cook. And if you don't do the service right, you'll be on the street permanently. You have to do your service really good. And love is the big thing in any service. Any service, love is the big thing. When you do it with love, then Krishna takes it. It's not the item, it's the love. So it's the hard work behind it, it's the love. So, if you think of Krishna will steal before you even offer. Like there was a story about Srimad Bhagavatam. He was doing Vishrambha Madhava. And he was thinking, because Vishrambha Madhava means you're thinking of not, you're thinking of learning. They may give, they may not give, right? So he's thinking. So he comes back with his chula, with his bag of, so much stuff, so many qualities of rice and dal and this and that, all mixed. So Guranga says, what is that? No, it's not fit for you. You have to wash it, you have to cook it. Guranga put his hand and took it, kacha. Uncooked. When? His Shuklamara's bottle was so good, Guranga was so eager to accept his offering, that he put his hand in the chula, took it straight. Kacha. Uncooked. Guranga popped in his mouth. Rajahari used to tell me that in Orissa, in the old days, when he was a child in the village, he said the rice was so good, kids could just throw it in their mouth and just digest it straight. Raw rice. Of course, kids can digest anything. It's like now we're really learning. Prabhupada used to say that a young man can never eat too much, and an old person can never eat too little. Now we're realizing when the fire doesn't work anymore. When the fire works, be surprised. When the Jagannath doesn't work anymore, there's no fire, there's no desire. So Prabhupada stated an old man cannot eat too little. And I remember, I was like 75 when Prabhupada came on the bus, and Sadananda, I don't know where he is now, offered a big thali of fruits. In California, you get any fruit, like they had a whole big thali of fruit. And Prabhupada picked up one grape and said, "Not guess the dust of yogos, do not try to come to Manastata. You cannot be a yoga, you eat too much, you eat too little, sleep too much, not sleep enough." Popped in his mouth. I was thinking, his fire probably wasn't working. When he was on the bus, I think Sananda was cooking. He was going from New York to Gitanadi. He ate a lot. He ate some samosas and other things. Sananda had some good papa. Sananda's in San Francisco now as a president. And his folks do it right at that time. Whatever they do it right. He's on their case. And his mind is still in the kitchen. The guy's got a cocoa bean figured out. He gave me tons of recipes. And he's going to do a whole thing, like his mind is still in the kitchen. He's a president, but his mind is still in the kitchen. Cooks never leave, they don't leave. Pujaris never leave. Cooks never leave. It's in their blood, it's like that. So we used to talk about some devotees in their blood. Like, book distributors in the blood. They would sleep, talk about selling books. Hey, what's your SMS? You know, what's your Facebook? You know, they would be selling books. Hey, I got a lot of singles. You know, can we take it out of a big bill? I was hearing all this conversation. The guy's sleep. Nobody's sleep talking. Selling books and sleep talking. Got a lot of wines. Can I take it out of a big bill? I was hearing all this. The guy's completely snoring. He's asleep. He's talking in his sleep. Selling books and all that. I was like, you know, they do it if it's in their blood. You do it night and day. You know. So that's what's important about the shloka, as Lord Shiva is saying, through devotion. Because it's only by devotion you really, and anything is good. The other process of jnana yoga, hatha yoga, anything is good if it's mixed with bhakti. If there's no love, then there's no use. Everything else is mixed with love. Hare Krishna. Is there any questions? If you have a question, you have a relationship. If you don't have a question, where is your relationship? I was talking with Kartik Chandra. Ma, Manusha, comes from Ma. The Dhatu's Ma. You know? And Manisha comes from the same Dhatu group. Basically, human beings are thinking animals. He laughed. So, okay, it's from the same Dhatu. Both from the same Dhatu. Take that mic over there. Battery life.
Those sense that devotional service is difficult to perform even for liberated souls. But if a person is free from all sins and contamination, his soul is situated in his original position, so it has to be natural to perform devotional service. And from my Guru Maharaja, I heard that devotional service is difficult to perform only till the level of Nishta. And from Nishta it's very natural and easy to perform. So how can we solve this interpretation?
Okay. Babaji said that same thing. When somebody asked him, how do you get prema, how do you get bhava? And he was dake, babe. One word. Mumsidas Babaji said one word, dake. Answered the whole question. You know, it's difficult. And Brahma Samhita says that, right? It says, Vedeshu Durlabha, Adurlabha Atma Bhakto. It is difficult to achieve in the Vedas, but not by devotion. It's Yatha Bhaktir Mamurjita, Nasadhyate Mamyogo, Nasankyam Dharamodhava, Nasadhyaya Tapastyago, Yatha Bhaktir Mamurjita. And also the Gita, I think it's, what is it, 1154? Bhakyanama Vijanati Yavanyas Tatvitattvataha, Tatomam Tatato Yadava Vishate Taranam. Only by devotional service can you achieve the inner divination. So it's there. It's very interesting. Jayalal Maharaj gave this one, in my opinion. It's good. Because the humor of an editor has to be really good, you know. He gave me this one. Preaching means to comfort the distressed, and distress the comfortable. Well, that was good. I really like that. Comfort the distress and distress the comfortable. So, because they have distractions, and Nishta, there's no distraction. Krishna stole you. know? Krishna stole it. And Nishta Bhakti, Krishna stole everything. So there's no distraction anymore. But before Nishta, maybe you may be distracted by this and that. In Madhurya Gadam, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti God gives the whole breakdown of what percentage is what. You know, what percentage of Maya, what percentage of he gives a percentage. Nishta, yeah. By that time, it's fixed devotion. Krishna is stolen. So Krishna is not stolen enough. If you're before Nishta, Krishna is not stolen enough. Krishna has to steal, and he's trying like anything. And he tells you with the heart, Paramatma tells you in the heart what to do like this. But ultimately, when you get Nishta, then it becomes very easy because you're not distracted. The whole trick of Krishna consciousness is to become more attracted than your distractions are. You have to focus on the positive things that a person does that becomes so overwhelming, that becomes so amazing, that they're forced to do it. You can't force somebody, but you can encourage somebody. It's like that. It's interesting that Prabhupada said one of the best prayers to ask Krishna for is that to please force me. But I never got any evidence that Krishna actually did that. And there's a few places here and there where Krishna forces. Vaisheshika was saying in Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna forced Kumar. I didn't see that here in Bhagavatam yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for more Brahmanas. I asked Bhaktivedanta Purnamars and Bhaktivedanta Festival, when will Krishna put his foot down? I'm done. I've had enough of this rascal. Now I'm going to intervene. Like that. And he said, that's not like Krishna. Krishna's never going to force. Because bhakti means with devotion, it has to be voluntarily. So Krishna doesn't want, if you want Maya or something, Krishna's not going to force you. He may tweak the circumstances. Now when Bhaktivedanta Purnamar said it to me, I said, now that sounds like Krishna. For a bhakta, for a devotee, he may tweak the circumstances. You can't turn left and right too far. If you really want to be Krishna by your move, if you really want to be a rascal, then Krishna will let you go. But for a devotee, Krishna will tweak the circumstances a little bit. You can't turn left and right too far. That was interesting. I'm waiting for more Brahmanas. There's some other. But one was supposed to give me some more Brahmanas. I'm waiting from a few other places like Krishna does in the dream sometimes. But I'm waiting. And even then, I'm probably going to think about what I do with Purnamars. He didn't give me any Sanskrit. Maharaj didn't give me any Brahmanas about it. But it sounds like Krishna's nature. To tweak the circumstances. That sounds like Krishna. Krishna's not going to force it. Same thing, but I never know. There's so many times where devotees pray Krishna. I was thinking about that. Gauranga Mahaprabhu says in Shikshastakam that the last shloka of Shikshastakam that he's a love buddy, he can trample on me or embrace me, but he's still my Lord. I was thinking that Krishna was, how would Krishna force? How would Krishna force? Because of that situation is that Krishna is sometimes a love buddy. He runs away. Another interesting thing in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the last volumes, Sriji Radharani says that Krishna is in the Shikshastika chapter where Kaviraj Goswami is discussing it, Shikshastika prayers. And in that shloka 8, Sriji is quoted that if Krishna wants to be with another girl and he cannot, I don't hesitate to go, bring her by the hand and bring her to Krishna. Even if it gives me pain, Sriji says, Krishna's happiness is my happiness. And I'm prepared to go there, grab her and bring her by the hand and bring her to Krishna. So even if Krishna's pleasure gives me pain, Sriji says, that is very interesting. That is an interesting aspect. Otherwise, the gopis are always on Krishna's case. That Krishna doesn't love them enough. Krishna doesn't surrender enough to them. Like I was thinking about that. How was Krishna alive? And Bhakti Purnamar said, if you say it like that how, the disciple asked him, how was Krishna alive? That means you don't know Krishna. So I was thinking, is there a sense how Krishna's alive? He's a cheat. Okay, he's cheating for a good purpose. never accept it. Our Fransaka, nah. You know, he's a cheater sometimes, but he's cheating for good purpose. You know, our Fransaka, a liar, nah. They would never admit it. The coward boys would never admit it. So I was thinking, if the gopis are chastising Krishna and calling him a liar or something, he doesn't surrender to them fast enough. But the coward boys will never accept that. Nah, our Pransaka is a liar. He's a cheater for good reason, but not a liar, you know. How could the coward boys accept that? The gopis may say whatever they want, but the coward boys would never accept it. These are the gist of the two camps. This is the gist of the two camps. And sometimes you have to straddle both. Like Vrindavan tries to straddle both. And both members of the camp are not happy with her because she straddles both. Come on, you have to put your foot in one or the other. But Vrindavan is diplomatic. She loves both camps. She likes both camps. She probably disappoints both of them. Vrindavan probably disappoints both of them because, you know, you're not fully in Krishna's camp and you're not fully in Radha's camp either. Vrindavan is a diplomat. We like both of them. She's a diplomat. We like both of them. Work out, anything else? Man, we got like 100 people here. Only 2 questions so far. Really sad. Hey. Open up. Where is the chart?
My question is...
Bunch of good words, be surprised. Go ahead. You go ahead.
It is bhakti is simple or simple and complicated or complicated. So it becomes very difficult for you to understand. Please.
Saralata. We should become, that's actually what I think. It's a famous Bengali saying that it's all, I think it's in that Vishrambha Madhava, Shloka 3. Trying to think. It said, keep your heart very simple. Keep your heart very simple. You know? Keep your heart very simple. Vaishnava Bhava means to keep the heart simple. So we should do like that. It is simple for the devotees and complicated for people. Prabhupada used to be very diplomatic about this. Like I remember, I was told about it, Bombay drink, Mandal, you know, when somebody would give some crazy question. That's all right. Give him some prasad. You know, who argues with a samosa? Who fights with a pakora? They're already defeated. Go get some paprika. Very simple. Yeah, simple. We should keep cardio sharp along. Keep your mind very simple. It's in that budget. Yari go to Nahitu. It's in that budget. Again and again, singing words of the Lord, keep your mind very simple. It's in that budget. It's in that budget. Yes. Yari go around Nahitu. Then they sing it every word in here. Very famous. The third line of that budget. Gao Gao Puna Pona Vera Puna. Karelo Sharilo Pona. Keep your mind very still. It's from that budget. Yet you go to you go into Gosha. Yeah, simple for the simple. The rest of the people give them result, give them charana. The more you give Krishna's charana and Krishna's result, Krishna will tolerate his majority. Our business is to give Krishna's charana and Krishna's prasad to everybody we meet. See Krishna, love Krishna, bring his charana and bring his prasad. Krishna will tolerate your existence. When I was traveling, sometimes you take 2 bottles of charana, spike the punch. Anything just pour it over water, just mix it in. It's an easy way to distribute it to everybody. Spike the punch. Pour it in there. Pour it in any liquid that's going to be distributed afterwards. Everybody will get it. That's an easy way to distribute it to everybody. Spike the punch. That's it. 2 questions. These are 100. Ooh, these are 100. What are you going to do now, Ma? There's nobody with the mic. The wireless mic is gone. Where are you?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I would like to ask a question about devotional service. Some devotees that this is real devotion. While we perform something that we even don't want to do, this can test us, this will see this is the real body. And on the other hand, there's some devotees that we should perform some service which we are inspired to. While we perform some service which we like, which we inspire, it will develop a love for Krishna. So what do you comment on both?
Prabhupada would say that sometimes. What service do you want to do? That sometimes you have to do. See, there's ruchi. Vishnu Chakravarti mentions 2 kinds of ruchi. The excellence of elements and the non-excellence of elements. So the non-excellence of elements is superior. If you have a taste in the non-excellence of elements, it's superior to the taste of the excellence of elements. So sometimes, in emergencies, you've got to do something, But your heart flows to the service that you like to do. So you should be able to do both. It has to be, if it's service that's involuntary emergency service, it's like a last minute thing, emergency thing, like that. But your heart automatically flows to the service that's your swabhava, that's part of your nature. So the point is that swabhava yati, our heart should flow to seva, that natural propensity, that our Guru Jana, our superiors, our devotee. It's a lot easier to manage them if you let them flow to the service they like to do. That's the devotion. Emergency. Even emergency service. Krishna's asked me to do this. It's emergency service. Nobody else will do it. Is there anybody better than me to do it? And if there's nobody else, then you have to do it. But even then, you have to do it. It's Prabhupada gave the example also of a lady who's got a parlor. You're thinking of somebody else. So you do your household activities very nice so nobody suspects. So even if you're doing something, your mind is absorbed in what you might like to do naturally. So these are some things. Service in emergency and service because you like it. But in any case, what was very interesting is in Vrindavan by Bhakti isn't enough to engage, he said, the 5 karmendriyas, working senses, in the service of Krishna, and the 5 gyanendriyas, knowledge acquiring senses in the service of Krishna, according to your psychophysical nature. That's the beginning of Bhagavatam. Rishikesha Rishikena Seva Bhakti Rujate Vishnu Purana says. That's the beginning. Rather, he He said, most important was to think of Krishna and to chant Krishna's name at the same time while you do the service. Then it becomes paribhavita, service with emotion. And that's what Krishna takes, the paribhavita. So that's the idea. Whether it's emergency work or whether it's service you like, do it with paribhavita. By chanting Krishna's name and thinking Krishna's name. If it's got a lot of devotion, Krishna will steal it before you walk away. When it's stolen, that was the gold medal.